Alright guys, we're back in this video. I'm going to be talking about the top 5 items to use at the start of a wipe in Tarkov. So as of recording this, the wipe should be happening within the next day, and I'm just going to give you guys a few good items to use when the wipe first happens that are strong but also come at a cheap price, since obviously, you know, we're not going to have that much money. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Alright guys, really quick, if you guys wouldn't mind going down below, dropping a like, and then subscribing if you haven't already, and then also go down and leave a comment, whatever it may be, and I'm going to try to respond to every single one. I always try to, and I'm going to continue to try to do so in this video. Yeah, go down below, drop a comment on whatever you'd like. It really does help the channel. Yeah, with that out of the way, let's get back into the video. Alright, coming in at number 1, and these actually aren't in any order, I'm just giving some general ideas on some of the best items to bring. But coming in at number 1 is going to be the 6B3TM Armored Rig. So if we go into inspect over here, we can see it has an armor points of 40, a container size of 12, and an armor class of 4. The main three things that you should look at. Starting with the container size of 12, meaning it can hold 12 different slots. So think of this, it's kind of like in between like a bank robber and a Triton rig. Basically, you're able to hold you know, enough slots for magazines and you know, anything else you pick up during the raid. Now, along with that, it's going to have an armor points of 40, which is very good, and an armor class of 4, which is very strong early on. So to obtain this rig, you're only going to need to go to Ragman level 2, and you can just purchase it here for about 50,000 rubles, which is a lot, but for the value it brings, I wouldn't say it's too much. Basically, what this is, it's an armored rig. If you don't know, it's basically a rig and an armor piece combined into one, so you can actually equip an armor because this does both jobs. Yeah, I think this is a really solid rig, and armor class of 4 is super beneficial early on, and I would definitely recommend checking this one out whenever the wipe happens. Alright, coming in number 2 on the list is going to be the SSH-68 helmet. Now, this is another very common item piece that you'll see a lot of people running very early on. So you can find it over here at Ragman level 1. Right, for very cheap. It's not going to be this cheap because, you know, everything's really cheap right now in Tarkov. But it is something that is very cheap, and you can get it for a super low price, and it provides great protection. So basically, we see it has an armor points of 30, a high ricochet chance, and an armor class of 3. I apologize. Along with that, it repairs very well, and it can get you through quite a few raids. It's really the only helmet you're going to need early on. You're not going to need anything fancy. You're probably not even going to be able to afford anything fancy. This SSH helmet is definitely what I would recommend bringing into raid. Okay, coming in number 3 on the list is going to be the GSSH headset. So this can be purchased from, if you go over here to Prepper level 1 as of right now. Right, go down here, and it can be purchased right here for very cheap. Once again, not this cheap, but it's going to be a lot less than something like on Ragman, like the Swordins or anything like that. It's going to be a lot cheaper. I think these are like 28k, and these might even be like 38,000 rubles. The GSSH provides very similar you know, headset. Like it doubles your sound hearing capabilities, just in a different way, and you know, for being like half the cost, this is definitely worth it, and this is the one that I would recommend running every single time you go into a raid early wipe. Okay, coming in at number 4 on the list is going to be the Zook 3 press armor. Now, this is going to be a little bit more expensive than the armor that you're probably going to start out with, which is most likely going to be the pack armor. But this provides so much more value, in my opinion. So if you go back over here, we see it has an armor class of 3, and it repairs honestly very well. Comparing to something like the P.A.K.A. for here, only has an armor class of level 2, and it doesn't repair as well. So you know, getting this for a very similar price as the P.A.K.A. for having an extra armor class. That extra armor class is really beneficial early on in the wipe, and this can save you from a lot of bullets, and I definitely recommend using this armor. You know, if you're not going to use the rig we already talked about, the Zook 3 armor was definitely the armor I'm going to shoot for early on in the wipe. Okay, so coming in at number 5, the last one on the list is going to be the Triton rig. This is a very good rig that I would recommend using if you're not going to be using the armored rig. Like, this compare very well with the Zook armor. So going into the inspect, it's going to have a container size of 16, meaning it can hold 16 slots, and it can be purchased from Ragman level 2, which this is not too hard to get. You can get it pretty early on in the wipe. It's a little bit more expensive than something that I see commonly ran, is the bank robber, which I think is a really good rig. But Triton gives you like double the space, and that is just a lot of value in my opinion. So if you can get it, the Triton rig is definitely a rig I recommend to use. Alright guys, that's basically going to be it. This was just a super quick video that I wanted to talk about some really good gear to bring early on in the wipe. So the wipe's going to be happening within a day now, and it's very exciting for a lot of people, and I'm just trying to give some suggestions. If you're a little bit newer to the game and you don't really know exactly what gear to bring into a wipe, if you're used to having all this money, there's just some good ideas to bring that are very cheap. But yeah, basically that's going to be it. If you guys enjoyed, a like and a subscribe is definitely appreciated. But yeah, thanks for watching.